everyone, this is Marty with Pezzadoodle Design Studios, and I'm here to talk to you today about another new Viva Decor product that I've been playing with, and this is their polymer clay, and it's called Pardo Jewelry Clay. It comes in these little jars, and it's in these small little balls, which makes it really easy to work with. So I'm going to show you a little bit about the properties of this clay that make it different than what you may be used to working with. For one is the convenience. When I open these, I can take out what I need, use it. What's left, just put the lid back on, you're ready to store it. Unlike most clays that come in just the plastic shrink wrap or whatever it is, and once you open that, it's not any good anymore. You have to find another way to store your clay. So I really like that. And then there's these separate little chunks or balls of clay so that I'm not constantly trying to break off pieces from the larger block of clay like the rest of them. Also, Pardo, as you can see, I just pulled this out and it's very soft. I can work with it very easily, very quickly, and begin mixing it together and conditioning it with no wait time, no special tools, no pasta machine. I don't even have my roller out. And if it's cold in the room and you're finding it's not quite this pliable, I'll just put it in the palms of my hands to warm it up a little, and instantly soft. The reason for this is that one of the base ingredients of Pardo clay is beeswax. So it's temperature reactive, meaning that if it's stiff, I can just warm it in my hands and unstiffen it and begin to work with it and mix it and get it ready to play with. I'm going to make a few simple, quick embellishments using very little in the way of tools. This is really geared for those of you who are either just getting started or who are like me and not really so much a serious poly clay person. But I do love to play with clay, and I love to make embellishments and little things for my daughter out of the clay. So I'm going to make the little inchworm that you saw in the beginning finished piece. So I took one ball of clay, I'm cutting it in half, the other half back, put the lid on because I don't need that. And now I have just a little log. It's just about uniform in size, but it doesn't have to be exact. And we're going to cut it into smaller pieces to make the little segments of our worm. So I'm going to do that by first cutting it in half, then in half again on each side, and then I'm going to cut it in half again this way just because it's easier. I believe this cutting tool comes with handles, but all of the reviews I read said the handles actually make it more difficult to use. It's by Sculpey, and I just never bothered with the handles because works just fine like that. I've gotten all of my Pardo clay at Poly Clay Play. Trish is very fun and easy to work with. She has a great Poly Clay club, lots of tutorials and all sorts of fun products. So I'm just going to roll these into little balls, palm of my hand. Again, it's so easy to work with this because the warmth of my hand keeps it pliable and soft. The color I'm using is called Pardo. Trish and I were discussing why it's called jewelry clay because I was confused when I initially heard of this clay. And it's not so much because you can only use it for jewelry or it's made for jewelry or there's something special about it that makes it a jewelry clay. We think it's more that the colors and the names are reminiscent of jewelry items. Pardo is a gem. They have several names that are rocks or crystals. So not to be confused, it's polymer clay like all other polymer clay, just a little bit different properties that make it easier to work with. So I'm going to take each of my little balls and I'm just going to flatten them slightly. So they're like little discs, but the sides are still a bit rounded. So just flatten each of those. This is a very basic worm. You can get much more complicated, but for Pez I don't think I need to. I'm going to leave one round. That's going to be his head. And then I'm going to take these and I'm just going to stack them on top of each other. Not exactly even, because when you view it from the side, it'll give him his sort of hump. So you can see it goes up. Now I'm going to have it start going down a little. Flatten him a little more. And I'm just working on a Ranger Craft mat, which is what I always work on. Okay, so here we have the body of our little, I guess he's more like a caterpillar. Stick on his head. And then I'm going to take this little needle tool and just make a very simple little face for him, so that he's looking at us and smiling. The other end of this is concave, so he makes a nice little smile for him. There he is.